Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Rainmaker Training and Coaching. Happy Tuesday. Happy Valentine's Day. I'm super excited to be here with you today. Yesterday, I shared a 10-minute listing presentation. Now, don't get confused, because if you look it up on my YouTube channel, you're going to see 30-minute listing presentation. And I did that for a reason. However, it can be a 10-minute listing presentation. It all depends on how you deliver it. If you were not here yesterday, just go to my YouTube channel. Hey, by the way, I haven't said this in a while. If you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. And I would appreciate that. Thank you. Today, I want to talk to you about mining for gold. So if you go back to the gold mine time when people were mining for gold, they would have those little shakers. They would dip that shaker down into a river, they'd pull it up, and there would be rocks and sand, right? And they're shaking that little shaker, I guess that's what it's called. And they're looking for what? They're looking for gold nuggets. And they would do that every single day. They had a system, they had a routine. They were focused on the activities, not necessarily focused on the results. And when you're mining for gold, you're going to find a lot of rocks. You're going to find a lot of rocks. And if I'm mining for gold, I'm not getting mad at the rocks. I'm not getting frustrated with the rocks in the sand. I am looking for that gold nugget. Now, lead generation is a lot like mining for gold. So what I want to do today is I want to transition from 10-minute listing presentation we shared yesterday to how can you get more listing appointments? And I'm going to share 5 ideas with you, or 5 strategies that you could use. One is circle prospecting. 2 is working with your sphere of influence and past clients. 3 is working for sell by owners and expired follow-up. We're going to focus on the follow-up today. Number 4 is absentee owners, and 5 is distress sales. All right, so number 1, circle prospecting. This is something that I would do every day if I were in production today. By the way, it's not something that I did 20 years ago. Wish I would have. And I didn't. However, I would do it today. I would find a property that sold. And now if I sold the property, even better. If I sold the property with multiple offers, even better. However, it doesn't have to be a property that I sold. It's just a property that sold. First of all, let's talk about if it's your listing and you had multiple offers. So what I want you to do is I want you to take actual copies of those other offers, just the front page, and I want you to carry those with you and go knock on doors. And when somebody answers the door, hi, my name is John. My name is John Dietz with Blank Real Estate Company. And the reason I popped by today is I just sold your home, your neighbor's home right down the street. Matter of fact, we had multiple offers. I have 5 buyers that are still looking for a home in your neighborhood, and there's nothing for sale. And I was just curious, who do you know that might be thinking of selling their home? Super powerful. You sold a listing down the street. You have multiple offers. You have buyers in hand that are looking to buy a home. Now, they're not your buyers. They're working with another real estate agent. However, if the person you're speaking to said, I'd sell my home, do you have an opportunity to list their property, get it sold, and call that agent who represented all of those agents who wrote offers that didn't get accepted? The answer is yes. Of course you do. All right, now you're just going to pick a property that's sold in a neighborhood, and you're going to call everybody around that property. Good morning, my name is John Dietz. I'm a real estate agent with Blank. And the reason for my call today is your neighbor's home right down the street from you just sold, which is great news. Our challenge now is there are still buyers looking for great homes like yours. And I was just curious, who do you know that might be thinking of selling their home? I want you to stop and slow down for a moment and think. If you did this every day, if you talked to 20 people a day, and all you did was circle prospect, that's 100 people a week and 2,500 people in a 5,000 people in a year. You're going to talk to a lot of people who are going to respond with, I'm thinking of selling my home. You're going to get listing opportunities just from circle prospecting. Now, am I suggesting that this is the only thing you do? No, I'm not. Well, what I am telling you is if you did, it would work and you would get listing appointments. If you're currently doing this and you're not getting results and you've given up on it, it's because you didn't do it long enough. It's because you were mining for gold and got mad at the rocks. Versus just keep mining for gold until you find that one gold nugget. Focus on the activities, not the results. If you focus on the results, you're going to get frustrated because you're getting rocks. If you focus on the activities, you're just going to show up every day and mine for gold until you find that gold nugget. It works. Do it. All right. The second way that I would get listing appointments today is I would focus on my sphere of influence and my past clients. In other words, I'm focusing on my database. I'm calling Corey. I'm having a forward conversation with her. Family, occupation, recreation, and dreams. Hey, Corey, John Dietz. It's been a couple months since we spoke. Just wanted to check in and see how you are. How's your family? How's work? If I had a referral for you, or if I had a client that wanted to hire you, are you accepting new clients? What's a great email address for me to send that information to? Hey, I noticed that you guys were on vacation last week. I think I saw on Facebook you went to the Bahamas. How was it? Did you have a great time? What was your favorite part? That's family, occupation, and recreation, just by the way. And dreams. You know, Corey, it's been a while since I've asked you this question, and you've been in the home you're in now for 10 years. Is it your forever home? If it's not your forever home, what does your dream home look like? Where would it be? What does it look like? When do you think you might want to move there? Now, before I hang up the phone, Zach, just curious, as you know, the market is still doing really, really well. However, we're starting to see signs of a shift, and I don't know what that's going to look like long term. However, it could possibly mean that we're going to see prices start to drop. And just curious, who do you know that might be thinking of selling their home? Now, I'm talking to my sphere of influence. I'm talking to my past clients. If that's all I did, and I talked to 20 a day, it's 5,000 conversations a year with my database that includes who do you know that might be thinking of selling their home? It includes if you knew the market was as high as it's going to be for the next 5 years. In other words, Eileen, I'm always looking for different people to speak to. And I love your reactions when I say your names, by the way. Eileen, if you knew your home was worth more today than it would be for the next 5 years, what would you do? Do you know of anybody that would sell their home if they knew that?
I think a lot of people would sell their home if they knew that, because everybody would want to take advantage of the equity that they have.
Yeah, I agree. Who do you know that I should call today?
I can think of somebody.
Okay, thank you, Eileen. You're a great role play partner. And if she said, I can't think of anyone, the response is simply, thank you for taking a moment to think about that. Now, because we had this conversation, Eileen, there's this thing called the reticular activator. It's kind of cool how it works. Now that we've had this conversation, people selling their homes, the market shifting, people who should sell their homes is top of mind. And because we had the conversation, I guarantee you within the next 7 days, you're going to talk to somebody who's thinking of selling their home. When you do, if I could ask a favor, would you please call me? So important, everybody. And here's why it's important, because here's what most of you are doing. How do I know? I just know. You're thinking they'll call you if they know someone. You're assuming they'll call you if they know someone, and they won't unless you ask them. What they'll do, you'll hear, oh, I'm giving your name out to lots of people. I've given your business card out to people. And that's awesome, but you're never going to hear from those people. You need to ask them when you run into somebody who's thinking of selling their home or should be thinking of selling their home, would you do me a favor and call me? Now, because you do that, you're going to get listing appointments. All right, the third way that I want to focus on getting listing appointments today is for sell by owner and expired follow-up. And there's 3 conversations that I want to share with you. When a home doesn't sell that should have, the watch script and wrong price. So when a home doesn't sell that should have, like yours, it usually doesn't sell because of 1 of 3 reasons: price, presentation, or marketing. And just out of curiosity, when your home was on the market, you were asking $700,000 for your home. If a buyer would have offered you $675,000, what would you have done? Now, if you hear I'd sell my home, did you have offers between $675,000 and $700,000? Yeah, matter of fact, I did. If you had the same offer today, what would you do? If I were able to get you that price today, would you still sell your home? And if I could show you how I can get you that price in the shortest period of time, would you be interested in seeing how I could do that? So when a home doesn't sell that should have, like yours, it usually comes down to 1 of 3 reasons: either price, presentation, or marketing. And just out of curiosity, which of those 3 do you believe is the reason your home didn't sell? Marketing. Okay, if I could show you what I'm doing to market my listings and sell blank number of homes every month and an average of less than 30 days on the market, would you be interested in seeing how I could do that? All right, the watch script. When somebody asks you, how are you going to sell my home for more than I could? Or how are you going to sell my home for the most amount of money? Great question. Let's say, just for example, that you and I are going to buy a watch. We have a budget of $300. So we go to the store and we're looking at the watches that are available and we find the right watch. And it's $300. So we buy it. And then we get home and decide we don't like it anymore and we're going to sell it in a garage sale the next day. Are we going to get $300 for the watch? No, we're not. Why? What type of buyers do garage sales attract? They attract buyers who are looking for a bargain. When we went to the store, we were expecting to pay retail. We were working with a professional, with someone who was selling the watch. We were working with a professional and we expected to pay retail. Now, if you're selling that watch at a garage sale, you're attracting people who are looking for a deal, and the watch is being sold by who? Stop. Let them say, well, by me, of course, or by the owner. You're talking to a for sale by owner, and you're helping them understand that they are selling their home in a garage sale atmosphere, attracting people who are looking for a deal and being sold by the owner. And when we buy a product from the owner, we expect to get a deal. And if the commission is 6%, can the seller and the buyer save the same 6%? No, they can't. Wrong price, wrong buyers. So I noticed that your property was on the market for $725,000, which means you were attracting buyers that were looking $700,000 to $750,000. Now, just out of curiosity, were those the right buyers? Did you get any offers? What do those offers look like? If you were getting offers between $675,000 and $700,000, what is the market telling you? Is it possible that you were fishing with your bait out of the water? You see, if you hired me to take you fishing, I'm a boat captain, I'm a charter fish captain. I'm an expert at what I do. In other words, I'm a great real estate agent and I'm an expert at what I do. And I'm an expert at marketing your home in order to attract the right buyer. All of that works unless we go fishing with our bait out of the water. Now, I take you out in my boat. I've got the best fishing boat money can buy. I've got the best fishing equipment that money can buy. I've got the right bait, and I even know where the fish are. And I take you there and we hang our bait 3 feet above the water. How many fish are we going to catch? Is it possible the reason your home didn't sell is simply because you were fishing with your bait out of the water? In other words, at $725,000, is it possible that the buyer that would have given you 680, 685, 690 would have absolutely loved your home, never even saw it? Is it possible that you were competing with properties that were a little bit bigger, a little bit more updated, and a little bit better location between 7 and 750 than buyers who are looking between 650 and 700? Are you the shining star? What if it was as simple as getting in a better market? What if in a better market where you're attracting the right buyers? What if it is as simple as fishing in the right pond versus the wrong pond? All right. Number 4, absentee owners. Checking time to make sure I'm okay. So if I were looking for listing appointments today, I would pull a list of absentee owners in my market, and I would call and I'd say, hey, Zach, John Dietz with Blank Real Estate Company. The reason for my call today is I noticed you have a home at 123 Main Street here in Coral Springs, and just curious if you knew the value of that property was as high as it's going to be for the next 5 years, what would you do? Now, absentee owners may not even be paying attention to market values. They may not even know that the market is shifting. And yet, if they did, hindsight is always 20/20. What I'm trying to do is help them have hindsight right now versus later on and regretting it. And when you hear, well, I would sell it, can I schedule a meeting with you to discuss what I could do to sell your home for the most amount of money in the least amount of time? If they're out of town, schedule a Zoom meeting. I'm going to tell you something, a secret that I learned accidentally in the last 4 months. I'm having Zoom appointments now versus appointments in person. And it's easier to schedule a Zoom appointment than it is an appointment in person. Just think about that. Maybe something you want to fall back on. Absolutely a bunny trail, so let's get back on track. All right, number 5, distress sales. I would pull a list of properties that have a list pendants filed, and I would call those homeowners. And the conversation would simply be, Eileen, John Dietz with Blank Real Estate Company. I specialize in helping homeowners avoid foreclosure. And if you knew of somebody that was behind on their mortgage, would you give me a call and let me know? There's multiple options for them. They don't have to have their property foreclosed. There's other options. If you know of anybody that's behind on their mortgage, would you give me a call? Now, Eileen may know somebody, and then again, she may be that person. If I'm target marketing and I'm calling people who have a list pendants filed on their property, she is behind on her mortgage. And I'm giving her the grace of not saying, hey, I notice you're behind on your mortgage. No, I'm simply sharing with her. I specialize in helping homeowners avoid foreclosure. If you knew of anybody that was behind on their mortgage, would you give me a call? I can help them. All right, there's 5 sources for you to go get listing appointments. Take the 10-minute listing presentation that I shared with you yesterday. Use that to get the listing when you're sitting at the kitchen table. Use the 5 strategies that I shared with you today. All 5 of them, 1 of them, 2 of them, or 3 of them. Doesn't matter, whatever you want to do. And go get more listing appointments. All right, take yourself off mute. Talk to me.